brought to you by the Racing.com app. Download today for the best racing content.
All right, let's take a look at the runners. Just before we do, you can see that race 6, number 7, Just for Road, is coming out as well. So that is a scratch in the quaddy legs that you need to take note of. Race 6, number 7 here at Cranbourne. Let's start with number 2, Catching Beams. It's had one run at the track for the 1 win. We haven't seen it on a heavy, but it has won 2 from 4 on a soft.
Yeah, I mean, pretty impressive in those victories as well. And admittedly got away with some very cheap sections, but I think looking at her action on rain-affected going, I think she'll lap up this style of surface, and if she can get an easy time like she did last start, she'll take a lot of catching. 3
is Kiss and Cry. All I've got highlighted here is just how consistent she is when you take a look at her previous runs. She doesn't seem to know how to run a bad race, and she's won 2 of her last 3.
Yeah, daughter of Dundeel, and that heavy 9 that she struck last start. That was a good race that Tides won, and that race rated pretty well, and she was solid there. She won at Mornington prior. Her form, like you said, is really consistent. If she can hold her recent evidence, and there's no reason to suggest that she won't be, she's got to be a leading contender.
4 is Lime Show. Jamie Carr takes the ride here. It's second up. Has never placed when second up, but the first up run was pretty good behind Wildfire.
Well, hit the line with the best final 200 in the race. It carries a little bit more weight than it did last start, but look, I thought her effort was quite solid. She's going to strip fitter. And generally last prep she was pretty consistent, so even the prep before, so I think she'll run well.
Number 5, Don't Doubt Maev, is a 3-year-old filly by not a single doubt. What do you do with her at the moment? Because she's won on a heavy before, but at the moment she's just leading and tiring late, and last start was really worrying.
On a heavy 10 as well, yeah. That was at Geelong, of course. I find it hard to make a case for her. I wanted to see a little bit more. I just don't think she's in the right form at the moment.
Number 6 is Broken Treaty. He was a winner last start at Cranbourne over the 1,400 metres, beating High Beam at a price. High Beam came out and won on Sunday.
Yeah, so that form looks good, and I like the win from Broken Treaty. I mean, they ran Broken Treaty on synthetic tracks for the first 3 starts, and there was no money around for it the other day at $26. And I thought it was quite a good performance from this daughter of Declaration of War. So might have surprised him a little bit there, and I'd be keeping her very safe again.
Number 7 is Fairy Song. It's had the 1 run on a heavy track, which was last start at Tatura when it led and won as well.
Nice performance. That race rated okay, but there's been market support at all 3 starts, and she's run well at all 3 starts as daughter of Lope de Vega. She's been $4 or less at 3 career starts, got that win last start. I thought this was a race of a bit more depth, but she's progressive.
Number 8 is Mikey's Turf. It's had the 1 run at the track for a placing. Second up today, again, another runner that just doesn't know how to put in a bad performance.
And beat Racked-Off first up, of course, who came out and won. There's been some other form out of that race that makes it read pretty well. It was a soft 7 at Moe that day. Probably pretty similar service in some respects to what we've got here today, and I thought it was a nice effort from a galloper that's going to be better suited, I think, over this trip.
Spencer Arano is the next runner we'll take a look at. 1 run on a heavy for 1 win. That was back at Pakenham last, or 2 preparations ago on a heavy 8, when it actually ran on quite nicely. Second up today.
Yeah, and ran behind Catching Beams, of course, first up. So a little bit to find on that effort, beaten 4.6, but that said, you tend to think that be strip a bit fitter and could be more competitive.
Dharmasan's in the market. It's had the 2 runs on a heavy for a win, and we've seen it beat Fight, which we know those form lines quite well. Last start at Geelong behind Cashed Up was a good performance as well.
It was. So both runs have been really creditable. Like you said, heavy track's not an issue. From that Barish, can probably position pretty well. So she's going to tick a few boxes. You can't really knock her.
And there's been a bit of money, as I mentioned, for number 11, Our Sunny Girl. It's 1 from 1 at the track. That was at Cranbourne over the 1,600 metres. It then went to the Gold Coast, where just didn't perform. Has been given 56 days off since that run. Thomas Stockdale keeps her ride.
Yeah, so a little freshen, and you like the fact that this daughter of Seabrings won at the track. She did win on a heavy 10 as well, so that's the positive. 1,400 after a little bit of a freshen. Not a major issue because she's got the residual fitness. Just got my little concerns about the format of that maiden that she won. She was very dominant, but I think there's been 8 out of the race that have competed and haven't figured since, so that's a concern.
OK, your numbers for the first leg of the quaddie?
Tough race, actually. I thought there were, it was... I like the win of Catching Beams, and I think Catching Beams has a fair bit of upside. But Kiss and Cry sort of coming back from, I think, stronger races, and a good case can be made. Broken Treaty, to me, looked too big in the market, around 20s, and I think Mikey's Turf is another progressive. I've left out a couple others that you could make a case for as well. So, like I said, if you're playing the quaddie, I'd probably be inclined to take a couple more on this leg rather than less.
2, 3, 6 and 8 for Hutch in race number 5. Let's take a look at the market.
This market update is brought to you by Bet365.
Well, courtesy of Bet365, Catching Beams has been a late drifter, $3.20 to $3.80. Kiss and Cry is at $5 now. We've seen Lime Show just drift $4.80 to $5. Our Sunny Girl 8 into 6 was $9.50 half an hour ago, so it's the one that they're backing. They're also backing Mikey's Turf 12 into $7.50. That go's been in the last 20 minutes. Dharma Sun is $7.50 out to 8. Don't Doubt Maev is 15 out to 17, and Fairy Song is 14 out to 17 as well. But Our Sunny Girl and Mikey's Turf are clearly the two that have been well supported. If you're looking to have a bet in the race, we'll try help you by analysing some previous runs, and we'll do it with Catching Beams, a win at Cranbourne. Hutch, as we said, led and made pretty easy work of them.
Just really well rated, got through the ground nice on this occasion. I mean, admittedly got away with some sort of cheap sections early and built to her own advantage. But this daughter of Camelot, she's pretty good. I mean, you can see here, I like it when they can sort of, almost just skip away under very little duress, and she kept up a good gallop, 1,300 metres there. 1,400 metres is only going to suit her more today. I don't think she necessarily has to lead, but she can. I don't know if there's... Whilst most jockeys and riders seem to be wanting to get away from the inside, I think if you get through the ground, it's not a problem. So here's a look at Kiss and Cry, who... This is a strong race.
Just rule out Tides and watch the rest of them.
Yeah, well, exactly. Tides was pretty impressive. Like Tides this day, and it went forward, led up at a reasonably good tempo, and Kiss and Cry was very good. But the positive about this run as well, apart from the consistency that Kiss and Cry has been able to show, is that it's only its run on a heavy track, and it seemed to get through the conditions pretty well. Third best final 200 in that race. So I thought there was enough there. We'll get through the ground fine, and this daughter of Dundeal's done a good job from a handful of starts.
Yeah, certainly has. As you said, she's been very consistent. 6 starts, 2 wins and 2 thirds as well. And those other performances, even when she's been outside the top 3, she's been well beaten in those. The track, from what you've seen so far, Hutch, I thought the 2 most impressive victories been 3 wide with no cover, just really relaxing into it and getting to that nice space on the track. Are you thinking that that's probably the place to be today?
I think you can...
It's been pretty fair though, hasn't it?
Well, we've seen horses back on the inside, of course. We saw David Feeks, Nikita Berriman's out there back on the inside. So I think it's a lot of it's just getting through the ground, getting the right run without any momentum being halted. We haven't sort of seen too many... Even the first winner sat wide without cover and quickened to its own liking. So I think the most important, the couple of factors are just getting through the ground and then just being able to keep that good rhythm up, because it might be a touch better wider, but if it's what petrol you got to spend to get out there, and whether or not it halts your momentum. So just as long as you get good, clean running.
OK, well, there looks to be a few horses in this race that can definitely push forward. One of those is Catching Beams. We took a look at that replay. It was pretty impressive. Brad's out there now with Jerome Hunter.
Yeah, there was good improvement. First up to second up. It'd be scary thought if there's the same second up to third up here today, Jerome.
It'd be nice.
Are you expecting that there's going to be a bit of a spike?
Look, I think there's a bit more speed in today, so she mightn't get such an easier run. But as long as it's it's a hard run race, that's what she likes. That's when she goes her best. So yeah, I can't see the heavy 10. It's questionable, but look, the horse has done really well between runs, and we're going into it confident.
Did the last victory here at Cranbourne, did that surprise you? She went around an $8 chance that day.
Yeah, it did. I think, we were expecting it to go well this prep, but I thought over a bit more ground. But it just shows, if she can run along and, she runs them off their feet, the distance isn't any trouble.
What about the weight? She's up to 59.5, a 2 kilo rise on last start, retaining the services of Logan McNeil.
She's a big girl, but weight stops trains. But yeah, look, heavy 10, bit of weight, but I don't think there's much of a gap between the others. I think they're all up in the weights as well.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Jerome Hunter, trainer of Catching Beams, who is his runner here today at Cranbourne in the colours that most of his horses carry, the lime and the blue checks there, with Logan McNeil in the saddle. He's been making a great fist of the early stages of his riding career. I think it was at Tatura that he might have said farewell to that 4 kilo claim. I was there that day, and he's been riding winners since. Catching Beams being one of those. He was aboard when she won here on the 4th of July. That was over 1,300 metres. Distance of today's race is 1,400 metres and stays in the same grade, but that is the reason behind the 2 kilo weight rise. Let's head up to Matty Hill, see how any suggestions that he might have here for the first leg of the quaddie.
It's going to be a different set of circumstances for Catching Beams here Bish, but look, it's one of those races where you can give about 4 or 5 a chance due to the fact that we're racing on a heavy 10. Our Sunny Girl appears to lap up these conditions, and was happy to stick with her on the strength of the victory on a bog here 2 starts ago. Thomas Stockdale taking 1.5 kilos off, and there has been support for her as well, $7.50 into $5.50. But it's a pretty open race. Catching Beams easing out to $4.80. Kiss and Cry and Our Sunny Girl at the $5.50 mark, and then Lime Show at 6. Mikey's Turf 11 into 6, back to 7. A nibble for Broken Treaty, 21 into 16. Dharma Sun's the other one, $8.50 into $7 that has had the support. So they're moving in, getting set. 5th event of the afternoon. First leg of the quaddie as well, so good luck if you're having a try. As going into the stalls now is Fairy Song with that red distinguishing cap. Catching Beams milling around with also Broken Treaty. Spencierato coming up with Luke Curry, Lime Show, and also Our Sunny Girl to complete the line for this Procon Developments 3-year-old fillies handicap. It's a Super Vobis Gold race, so plenty to play for out there this afternoon in this. As going in is Broken Treaty with Ben Allen. Little tickle at Broken Treaty on VOPs at odds. Lime Show comes up for Jamie Carr, who's been invited to represent Australia at the Shergar Cup in England in about a month's time, which is a terrific thrill for Jamie. She'll be racing on Ascot Racecourse in Britain before too long. Dharma Sun goes in, and Our Sunny Girl with Thomas Stockdale to complete the line. Very open race. Tote favourite Our Sunny Girl now at $4.90. Completes the line. Our Sunny Girl to the outside alley. And the 3-year-old fillies are set for race number 5. 1,400 metres, stalls are back and they're racing towards the inside. Kiss and Cry away fairly. Catching Beams out fast, as we were told it would, from Fairy Song and Don't Doubt Maven. Dharma Sun and not too far away next the inside Broken Treaty. They were followed by Mikey's Turf and Lime Show from Kiss and Cry. Spencierato and 2 further back Our Sunny Girl. Onto the course proper, heading towards the 1,000. Catching Beams like last time led and tries to dictate by 3/4 of a length to Fairy Song. 2 further back as Mikey's Turf and Dharma Sun. Don't Doubt Maver's 5th out 3 wide. A couple of lengths Kiss and Cry, followed by Broken Treaty, and then Lime Show, a length and a quarter Spencierato. Our Sunny Girl whips them in as they continue their journey past the 700 metres, and through that point the leader Catching Beams for Logan McNeil by a length and a half. To in second Fairy Song, Mikey's Turf, Don't Doubt Maeve as the leader just quickens approaching the bend. Then Dharma Sun, and further back as Lime Show, Kiss and Cry. Third last is Broken Treaty. Then Our Sunny Girl, who's trying to get going from the back. And at the end of the field, Spencierato as the field pack at the turn. 300 to go. Catching Beams joined by Fairy Song. Lime Show's winding up with also Broken Treaty. Mikey's Turf whacking away. Kiss and Cry's run up behind those. Our Sunny Girl down the outer at the 150. They've got to Catching Beams. There's a wall of them. On the outside, Broken Treaty moves up to Lime Show. Spencierato's getting through too. Spencierato driving at them. Spencierato's got up to win it. From Lime Show, Our Sunny Girl or Broken Treaty for third, then Kiss and Cry, who was held up at the top of the straight. Dharma Sun behind them from Mikey's Turf, and then Fairy Song. Catching Beams got swallowed up, and a gap to Don't Doubt Maeve. Spencierato, Luke Curry aboard for Nick Ryan at 29.50 and 6.70 has bowled them over. Spencierato, number 9, will win. As we stand by for the minor end of the prize, we have to rely on our very talented photo finish operator, Darren Alsop, to help us out with the others. Their heads everywhere, with Lime Show holding on for second. Third's a photo. Broken Treaty or Our Sunny Girl in that decision. 129.42 the gallop. 129.42. 9 Spencierato for Luke Curry, who is back in form, of course, with Miss Vixen winning for Cindy Alderson on Saturday, and driving through gaps from the back of the field for trainer Nick Ryan. Has sprouted wings. The filly by Fiorente out of Mustang Sally couldn't get into it behind Catching Beams after that filly dictated last time. Second up here, does like the rain affected going, has scored. From number 4, Lime Show, Jamie Carr for Matthew Ellerton and Simon Zara. Photo third, 6 Broken Treaty, or number 11, Our Sunny Girl with the winner's rump. getting in the way of the nose of the 6 broken treaty for the judge, but I'm sure he'll sort that out. 9-4 and a photo. 9-4 and a photo. 129.42 the gallop after the running of race number 5 today. Down to you now, Brad Bishop.
Yeah, hasn't done a whole lot wrong in the career today. That's only 5 starts and 2 wins. You'll take that, Toby.
Yeah, it's good result. Great ride by Luke for a start, and it's good thinking by Nick. This filly, in her second prep, she just didn't come up. She ran a pretty poor race at Sandown, and he just offered to tip her out, bring her back for the wet tracks. That's what she likes, and she's won a good money race today.
So that was a specific plan to get her in at this time of year?
Yeah, she loves heavy tracks, and this is not the best of her. Just once she gets out to a trip, we'll see the best of her.
All right, you're on strapping duty. You can go and grab her and give her a pat. Luke Curry aboard Spenceriato, I think. Well, from Toby Lake's point of view, and anyone that was on Spenceriato, they would have been keeping an eye out for her. But I think to the neutral observers or those that were watching elsewhere, they were looking everywhere but the horse in the blue. And then at the 150-metre mark, she just emerged and hit the line very, very solidly. And I think Toby's comments there late about there's much more to come from her, possibly when she gets out over a little bit further. That is what the bloodlines suggest, being a daughter of Fiorente out of a saddle as well's mare. Well, commiserations to the backers of the Mick Kent trained runner there. I think when we watch the replay, that'll be the one that most identify as the unlucky runner in the race. And Matty Hill even identified it as the race was unfolding. Kiss and Cry there, who was just bolting for a run and has probably got beaten a length, finished within a length, finishing in 4th or 5th spot. So didn't work out for Kiss and Cry, but it worked out beautifully for Spenceriato. And once the gap came, Luke, there's a lot to like about the way she attacked the line.
Yeah, she sprinted really well. You know, she's bred to get out and trip, and she relished the going. So it's still a good effort from back, but yeah, when she did get that clear air, she was really good.
Is that what gave her a chance in a race like this, and the way it played out for you? The fact that she does love that soft ground, given she's going to be better over further. Yeah,
she loves that going, and Nick had said to me that she'll really like it. She might just be still a little bit soft. Being 7 furlongs on a heavy track, but she was able to just relax out the back and spend no petrol, and then like you say, when she got that gap, she hadn't done anything to get there, so she sprinted very quick.
Just ticked into the second half of the card hold. How's the track holding up on a heavy 10?
Oh yeah, it's a heavy 10, but
got most of it all over you.
Yeah.